hurt the opponent to the point of good game. Just completely overran his opponent. And here's Braddock, really eager to get some gas, sending those guys early on. And here's the Marine popping out. Hey, now we're starting to see a reason why to make that Marine before the tech lab. Oh, look, a second Marine coming out. Is Braddock doing something completely different? Looks like he wants to kill off this probe first. Huh. Okay, it looks like something completely different is happening. Now, anytime you see a player do this, don't file it away in your head as, oh, he's using a different build. When I see this, I think to myself, well, this is the same player who clearly is fond of this Marine style, you know, getting the delayed Reaper, getting some sort of Ghost Academy, getting a second barracks with a reactor. This is still the same player. I wonder if we'll see anything similar. Oh, well, it looks like a Zealot was coming out at the start. Some nice little micro. You know, perhaps Braddock scouted him earlier on. And this is exactly what I would do. I'm actually going to pause. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. So this is right at the stage where looks like he's getting, he's just now scouting. And what is the second Marine response going to be? Oh yeah, look, Braddock got to his opponent's base and saw a chrono-boosted gateway. 2 pylons, he saw all the places that a cybernetics core could be built, and noticed that no cybernetics core was there, so a Zealot rush must be coming. Okay, cool, yeah, now I'm starting to feel like Braddock isn't doing some sort of gigantic deviation. He's just saying, oh, okay, wow, yeah, he's just building some Marines. Gonna hold off a Zealot rush. Go back to the normal thing. He's not doing anything like, oh, I've just decided to abandon all hope with my old build, because if he sees it, I will be crushed and I will be weak. And of course, people wondering why Braddock speaks so triumphantly to himself, so valiantly, as though he narrates his real life wherever he goes. But in reality, it looks like it's just a little adjustment to be able to deal with some sort of early Zealot rush. Completely reasonable. Oh, a second Zealot coming out. Braddock now getting a third Marine and this tech lab. So let's see how he deals with the Zealot harassment. Oh, looks like he's pulling both of those back. By the way, this is a great micro technique to just pull away from the Zealot and also away from the remainder of your Marines. God, those Marines kill things quickly. Is he going to get a delay Reaper? Yes, he is still getting a delay Reaper. And there's the Ghost Academy coming down, and this barracks. Oh yeah, and look, there's a bunker coming down. Here's the second refinery coming down. Looks like the second refinery still, you know, about sometime a little while after this second barracks got started. Not before this first bunker, excuse me, not after this first bunker, which is a little bit of a change, but this is the same thing. Same freaking thing. And look, Ghost Academy going to finish. When does it finish? Right when 150 gas is available. So are we going to see a Ghost Braddock? Barack Obama, can we build a Ghost? Yes, we can. There's the Ghost going down right now. So, Reaper going to be poking over here to the right. Just looks like he's spotting the Xel'Naga Watchtower. He is, but that's just a lucky coincidence because really this is the meaty positioning. The fact that you can pop up onto these high grounds and scout out what your opponent's doing. Same jump going on. And what's going on in the Huckster's base? Looks like he's getting a robotics facility. Going to see some Immortals coming out early on. For any of you who didn't know this, Ghosts are the awesomest thing in the universe against an Immortal. And we can start to ponder different possibilities for a moment with this build. If we're going Ghost Marine, we're pretty Immortal proof. If our opponent is going for mass Void Ray, we might have a little bit of struggle with that. That's still part of the reason why I'm mentally favoring Stim over Combat Shield. I'll have to ask Braddock why he's been doing that. Because I just really like getting Stim first. I would assume it's because Braddock is saying, well, I'm not going to push until I have Combat Shield and Stim anyways, so I may as well get Combat Shield because it's better defensively. That, I think, is a reasonable line of thought, but I still think Stim is pretty damn good defensively. So the Observer coming out, more high ground moitering by Huck. And a very common technique to use on this map is the Endless Force Field, to build a pylon up here, get more sentries here, and just force field your little heart out. So curious what Braddock's going to be up to. Oh, could it possibly be the same thing he's done 4 times in a row? Yes it is. And I want to note that it is not the same build order exactly, it's the same concept. a delayed Reaper, getting a second barracks with a reactor after the tech lab, getting the starport as you build up gas, getting ghosts before you start getting a starport. These are just concepts, and we can link them together to form a nice little build. And as we start, valuing precision and wanting to really get a lot of money for our mile, that's when we worry about things of when do we exactly build these depots, how does this building positioning work precisely, and all this stuff. And this is probably my favorite part of the build, the fact that we can build a supply depot and supply depot to wall ourselves in. Oh, by the way, EMP to kill off the observer, very nice move. I love the fact that we can build two supply depots here to deal with Dark Templar harass, because it's another way of saying, no, I like my build. I'm going to force it to work. I'm not going to do anything crazy like Rush Raven every single game to deal with some possibility of it. No, I'm just going to build 2 extra supply depots that I was going to build anyways, and rely on my EMPs and the fact that he's cornered. So meanwhile, Huck's seeing that his opponent is powering pretty damn hard, so Huck's going to be going for a 4 Warp Gate plus Robo. Pretty typical, hyper-aggressive Protoss way to play. Nothing too exceptionnel. And of course, this is awesome. This is versatility at its best. God, I really wonder what my opponent's doing. Let me just do a scout with my medevac. I'm just going to load up an SCV, check out what's up. Oh, a little probe going to be spotting up here. This is, again, brilliance by Huck. Yeah. Since I'm gonna have you contained, I may as well have 100% vision of what's going on. So, oh my god, Huck sees what's up. He will be able to intercept if he so chooses to do as such. Looks like Braddock's still building up, waiting for Stim. Yeah, that seems to be his money time for when he wants to push. There's the salvage going on. Needs to be very careful about those force fields getting cut off. So here comes the 1 Marine. God, Huck has good reaction time. Oh, he also has an observer up on the high ground. That probably has a lot to do with it. So this is an interesting question right now. So this is a little bit more of a tactical consideration. So Braddock is up on the high ground. Notice the spread of the sentries. That means that no one EMP can take out all the sentries, which means the sentries are in prime position to force field this army in half, pick off the front of the Marines, and be done. So we know that as a strategy, this build up, this timing of getting the Ghosts first and the Marines and then the medevacs, we know that that strategy works pretty well. But with this composition, just looking at the composition of Ghosts, Marines, medevacs, what tactic can we use to bust this contain? And it looks like Braddock isn't even going to be going for the contain bust right away. He's going to be going for a Marine drop with the medevac. Cool, what a nice little move. And he is just continuing to build up Marines. At this stage, I would definitely criticize Braddock for not having another barracks up earlier. I think that as this command center is building, you can very, very clearly afford a barracks. Because, I mean, just watch Braddock's money as we go to the resource counting station. This isn't going to be dropping below 150 for a long time. I really just can't see any way that he can even spend his money to keep it lower. And here is the drop in the back of Domain. And what's so great about 8 Marines, they deal so much friggin' damage that even 1 round of Warpins can't even deal with it effectively. And Huck tries to kill it off. Coincidentally, not the best play, and then he's going to run up here. Look at how much damage this is. This is so cool. And you know, there's a lot of talk as Terran about controlling the bottom of your ramp. And in fact, against Protoss in any matchup, you really do need to think about, how do I control the bottom of my ramp? Because if you don't, then you end up with this infinite force field, Nazgul style. And this is what Braddock says: I'm not going to control the bottom of my ramp. I'm going to force the Protoss to obsess about the bottom of my ramp. Protosses will get all excited about having the bottom of my ramp, and then I'll just counter drop. That is so cool. This opening by Braddock has such versatility. I'm just blown away. And as we can see, that did a number on the probe count, 30 to 6. It's going to be a little bit obnoxious to deal with. And Braddock, like an asshole, runs away without even giving Huck the satisfaction of killing that little force. And of course, there's EMP on the 1 sentry. That sentry I actually looked earlier did have 200 energy. And then look, exactly like clockwork, Braddock is going to be getting ready to do a push. A push. He's going to be pushing, and it will do a lot of damage. And you know, this is something that I would note that I like a lot, that a lot of people don't do. What was the timing that I said 1,000 times in the last 2 games? Or excuse me, 3 games? It's whenever the stim finished, he pushed out. But a lot of times you'll get delayed. And what you should do is you should look for other critical upgrades. For instance, that +1 attack upgrade. Braddock sat still here and only moved out, or it looks like is only going to be moving out after he gets his +1 upgrade. I think that's brilliant. Way too often players will just go, oh, cool, alright, I guess I broke out, time to attack, and they'll be at like 75, 80%. It is almost always going to be better just to wait those few extra seconds. And here he comes, look at the EMPs, getting the big units, which would be the Sentries and the Immortals. Not really the Stalkers and the Zealots, but God, look at how quickly he cleaned that up. That